Do you remember that video I did a few months back talking about how we would get 4 new Avatar video games from new mobile games, a new MMORPG, and a AAA title? Well, one of them just had a soft launch to a select few countries. Find out what game this is and if you can play it right now after this intro. Hey folks, my name is Antoine, your resident geek, giving you theories and discussions of all things Avatar, and today we'll be diving into the news of the release of Avatar Generations, a mobile game created in partnership with the Final Fantasy publisher Square Enix and Avatar Studios. This is exciting stuff, especially looking at some of the early gameplay footage, which seems to be going after the traditional Japanese role-playing game style, turn-based combat and all. The only issue I see with the game so far, besides the obvious low budget and lack of voice acting, is that it's free to play with microtransactions. Right now, we don't know how the microtransactions will work in the game, but I hope there are not advantages to gameplay and all upgrades are only cosmetic. This can often be an issue with single-player games in particular, where single-player progression is often artificially stopped by a paywall. But let's listen from the official press release of the game, which reads, "Expanding the beloved universe of the world-renowned property, Avatar Generations invites players to step into the shoes of fan-favorite characters across the franchise. The first chapter introduces Aang, Katara, Sokka, Toph, Suki, and Zuko, accompanied by the much-loved companions Appa and Momo as they embark on a globe-trotting quest to fulfill Aang's destiny. Future expansions will explore Avatar Kyoshi, Korra, Roku, and more across the timelines of the 4 nations." So let's stop right there. This is perhaps the most exciting aspect of this news, at least for me. It's definitely great that we'll be able to play as the original Team Avatar during their adventures, and of course, Korra will be there as well. But the expansions of Kyoshi and Roku are especially intriguing. For those of you who have been on the channel more than a few years, know that I have a infatuation with the Kyoshi novels, and I talk about it almost monthly on the channel. And if Avatar Generations is going to include her, that means we'll see her companions as well, including Rangi, her girlfriend, and the flying opera company, the criminals she traveled with in the first book. If you want to learn more about that, I have an entire playlist on Kyoshi lore that you can check out right here. But we might even get to see the likes of false Avatar Yoon, and maybe even Kyoshi's would-be mentors like Hiran, Kelsang, and my personal favorite character, perhaps of the entire Avatar franchise, Jinzuu. Funny enough, you actually get to see Jinzuu in the opening cinematic of the game. Seriously, y'all really need to look into this character. Super dope. But what's even more interesting to think about is that who can show up in Roku's era? Even in the recent Avatar Legends role-playing game, we got no real indication of a Team Avatar for Roku. He seemed to be mostly a lone wolf, kind of helping certain people and having certain companions depending on the situation. So we might get all new canon information from this very game, depending on who the game developers choose to surround Roku with. I can't even begin to guess who would be included. Maybe Princess Deshan, member of the Guiding Wind and one of the first chi blockers in existence, and sister to Fire Lord Sozin. There is quite a lot of potential for companions that could fight alongside Roku. By the way, if a lot of these names and terms are confusing to you, I do a lot of videos here on this channel about Avatar lore, including an entire series about the Avatar Legends role-playing game, which gave us a lot of new information on the avatars like Roku. Consider subscribing if you're into that sort of a thing. I mean, 90% of you, typically, who watch these videos are not subscribed. Anyway, those of you who live in Canada, Denmark, South Africa, and Sweden can play the game right now. If you live in any of those countries, let us know in the comments below. Is the game any good? Does the progression system feel fair, or does it feel like a microtransaction machine like a lot of other modern mobile games? Sorry for everyone else in the world, there is not yet any word on when this will be released to other markets, especially the United States market, which is the biggest one for Avatar: The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra. But be on the lookout on this channel, as I'll likely be streaming the video game right here on YouTube when it drops. As the developers tell us, the game will feature epic, squad-based battles and unique adventure sequences, underpinned by deep upgrade and party customization systems as players recruit new heroes and grow their team potential. which is, of course, something that I am nervous about because, you know, deep upgrade and party customization usually means that there is some sort of paywall to get to those certain things. Players will also be able to experience fan favorite locations, stories, events in an open world, as well as a brand new story that expands the universe. This sounds like an oversell from the developers, especially the aspect of the open world. It doesn't seem like it's going to be open world in the same sense that you have for, like, you know, Ghost of Tsushima or Grand Theft Auto or something like that. It's probably going to be a little bit more low key than that, though I'm sure that whatever they add into the storylines will be really awesome to see. I'm really interested to see what kinds of new storylines they're going to be putting in place and what characters we're going to see, especially the likes of Jinju from Kyoshi's era. But even with it being a pretty low-key mobile game, I'm still very excited to see new content coming out of Avatar Studios. And that's it. What would you like to see from a game like this? Personally, as a fan of the Kyoshi books, I can't wait to see what they do with the Earth Avatar's time period and her companions. We may finally get official art of some of the characters that are currently just words on a page. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more Avatar content just like this. I'll catch you on the next one, and as always, peace, love, and remember, be water, my friends.